I'm on a mission to make a perfect notebook because I don't want the notebook industry telling me what to do anymore. So today, I'm going to show you how I made this.
First things first, got to get all the signatures together, which is just a fancy way to say all the paper that's going to make up the notebook. I printed a custom dot grid because dot grid or nothing. Lined paper is for children. Then I went ahead and punched some holes in all the signatures because I'm going to sew this thing together. And this is going to be my first attempt on a French link stitch, which is a pretty common stitch to hold all your pages together. So here's me giving it a shot. And honestly, I think it turned out pretty well. It is a kind of a time-intensive process, but it was pretty fun and decently easy to learn, but it's certainly going to be hard to perfect it. Now that it's all stitched, I got to glue the spine together. While that was drying, I'm getting my end pages ready, and the end pages are what hold everything together, so you don't actually glue the cover to the book itself. I made sure to put some moisture barriers in between the pages just because the glue will seep through and then stick the pages together where you don't want them to be stuck together. What you're seeing now is my first attempt to try to trim the edge of this book, and honestly, this part gave me the biggest headache, and it turned out okay. Up next is cutting out the chipboard that's going to be the cover of the book, and you can see I have my helper, Natalie Portman. She double-checked all my measurements for me. Too bad she didn't check them well enough, because when I put this test fit together, I realized that everything was wrong and I was going to have to recut a whole new set of chipboard. So I'll just save this one for a different project. I wanted to get a little fancy, so I made some end bands to glue in, and I also threw some bookmarks in there. And after I cut out some new chipboard, I test fit it and realized I didn't like the edge because it was very obvious how crooked it was. So here's me undoing an hour's worth of work and retrimming the edge of the book. And it's still just fine. Gluing the cover to the book cloth was pretty fun, although I had a really hard time making accurately sized spacers so that I could get the space that I wanted in between the spine and the covers. And so that process was a little annoying, but once I got it down, it actually turned out pretty good. And so I just folded everything together, glued it together, and pressed in the divots where the book will actually open. And I think it turned out pretty good, actually, for a first attempt. Now it's time to glue the actual text block or the pages into the cover. And on a video from Bitter Melon Bindery, she used this tape method to align the end pages. And so that's what I'm doing here so that I can get a nice, good alignment for my end pages once I glue those in. Once I was done, I put it in the press for a while.
And it's done. I would say it turned out pretty good overall. You can see some spots where the lines that I used as guides didn't work out so well. The edges aren't super well, but the end pages turned out pretty good. I did use a little bit too much glue, and you can tell from the wrinkling there, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with the result. Follow for more.